Everybody thinks they want to be rich. Your boss wants it. Your neighbor wants it. Hell, even your dog probably wants it, at least enough to demand the gourmet kibble instead of the supermarket brand. And you, well, you're probably fantasized about it too. The big house, the sleek car, the holidays in exotic places where you get sunburned in style. Money, we're told, fixes everything. But what if getting rich doesn't make your life easier? What if it actually ruins it? What if the American dream, or whatever national knockoff you've been sold, isn't a dream at all, but a glittering nightmare where your sanity, relationships, and soul get swallowed whole? That's what nobody tells you when they whisper, work hard, play smart, and one day you'll make it. They forget the fine print. Making it may cost you everything that made life worth living in the first place. So let's get into it. But if you like seeing big ideas torn apart like this, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next one. We're talking about the myth of freedom money supposedly buys. We're raised on the idea that money equals freedom. The freedom to travel, buy what you want, tell your boss to shove it, live however you please. Sounds lovely, right? Truth be told, I did tell all my bosses to shove it, and I wasn't even rich, but that's a whole different story. Thing is, you can tell anybody anything, just know there are consequences to your actions. But here's the twist about the money and freedom myth. The richer you get, the less free you often become. Your wealth ties you to an endless list of obligations. You don't own the mansion owns you. Every square foot is another square foot of stress, upkeep, and potential lawsuit. The business empire you built, well, congratulations, now you're handcuffed to it 24/7. Try ignoring it for a month and see how fast it eats itself alive and takes you down with it. And forget about being off the radar. Big money makes you visible. You're suddenly on every scammer's wish list, every government's watch list, and every distant cousin's Christmas card list. You're also in the lonely club of the wealthy. Here's a dirty little secret. The higher up the wealth ladder you climb, the lonelier it gets. When you're broke, at least you know who your friends are. They're the ones splitting a pizza with you, not because you're rich, but because you're you and you're human. When you're rich, suddenly everyone wants a slice of you. Are they here for you or for your money? Are they laughing at your jokes or at the size of your wallet? Worse, the rich have trouble trusting anyone at all. That new partner? Probably a gold digger. That business associate? Probably angling for a cut. Even family starts to look suspicious when money enters the picture. Riches don't just isolate you, they poison every human connection with suspicion. You wanted to buy love, but instead you paid for loneliness with a side of paranoia. There's addiction that nobody warns you about with wealth. Money is like cocaine. The first hit feels incredible. You swear you're unstoppable, but then you need more and more and more. The millionaire isn't satisfied because billionaires exist. The billionaire isn't satisfied because trillionaires could exist. There's always another level, another trophy, another zero to chase. And like any addict, you lose touch with reality. Suddenly, a $20,000 watch feels cheap. A $5,000 dinner feels like a quick bite. You can literally burn cash and not feel it, because your brain has recalibrated its definition of enough into something grotesque. When does it stop? It doesn't. The high is permanent hunger. And then there's the stress, the silent killer in designer clothes. Money can buy comfort, sure, but wealth also breeds stress, a special kind only the rich get to taste. You're not worrying about rent anymore, but now you're worrying about lawsuits and investments, market crashes, stalkers, kidnapping, inheritance fights, corporate sabotage. Every dollar you earn becomes another worry. Think of it like this. Your poor self carried around a backpack of rocks. Uncomfortable, yes, but manageable. Your rich self, you're dragging around an entire quarry. It looks impressive, but it breaks your back all the same. No amount of meditation apps and yoga retreats and self-care Sundays can fix it. The stress is baked into the lifestyle. Money magnifies it, puts it in HD, and makes sure you can never really turn it off. There's a rot to the identity of the wealthy. When you're rich, your money becomes your identity. You're not John anymore. You're that millionaire. You're not Maria. You're the one with the yacht. Your personality, quirks, passions, they all get overshadowed by the size of your bank account. People stop asking who you are and only care about what you own. Slowly, you start believing it too. Without the money, who are you? And that thought is terrifying because it means losing your fortune would feel like losing yourself. This is why some of the wealthiest people on earth are also some of the most fragile. They've tied their entire identity to a number that can vanish overnight. Wealth is a cage, not a key. Here's the paradox. The money that was supposed to set you free ends up caging you. You don't travel because you love it. You travel because the villa in Bali won't impress people if it sits empty. You don't dress how you like. You dress how your social circle and your social class expects you to. You don't speak your mind. You measure every word, terrified of PR fallout. Instead of living, you're curating. And instead of being free, you're performing. And the performance never ends, because wealth isn't just money. It's a stage you can't step off of. Society has a perverse worship towards money. The cruelest twist is that everyone else still envies you. They see the cars, the mansions, the luxury vacations, and they assume you've won the game. Nobody cares about your stress and your paranoia and your fractured relationships or your gnawing emptiness. You're rich, so shut up and enjoy it. Why don't you enjoy it? So you do what's expected. You smile for the cameras, you post the curated Instagram photos, you attend the parties, and each time the cage tightens. You're trapped in a fantasy that other people dream about, but you cannot wake up from. You need to be careful what you chase. This isn't a call to romanticize poverty. Not at all. Being broke sucks, and anyone who pretends otherwise is probably trying to sell you something. But here's the point. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, freedom, or love. Sometimes it guarantees the exact opposite. The truth is, becoming rich won't automatically destroy your life. What destroys you is believing money is the only measure of success, the only route to freedom, the only thing worth chasing. If you buy that lie, the money owns you sooner or later, and it will eat you alive. So, before you burn your soul at the altar of wealth, maybe pause and ask yourself this: do I want to be rich, or do I want to live? Because too often, you cannot have both. If this hit home, share it with a friend who still thinks money solves everything. And if you want more no BS takes like this, subscribe and stick around. We're just getting started. Happy to have you here. I'll see you next time. Bye.